Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Doing a job journey update video. I started my new job Friday. Well, last Friday went in and did paperwork. So far, I've been working 2 days, and um, I love it. I love it. There's actually two things going on at this assisted living where I'm working at. It's like an assisted living. It has two levels, and the lower level is like more like an assisted living. Um, those people that on that level are more assist. The upper level is like an AFC home, adult foster care home, and that part I've been training on that part, and that part is nice. It's nice and slow pace. The only thing that I'm not happy about is I have to count meds. Like the director said everybody has to be med trained. And when I worked at the other assisted, I told you guys I worked at another assisted living. Um, that was like an optional thing. Like there were specific people that were med techs, and you know, assisted livings are under different guidelines than nursing homes. Nursing home has to have an actual nurse on staff to pass meds. Assisted livings, I don't know how it is in other states, but in Michigan, assisted livings, they can get away with having training the staff to pass the residents meds. So they're under different guidelines than what they would be in a nursing home type setting. So basically, you're doing a nurse's job on an aid salary, basically. And that's why I had a problem with it at the other assisted living. I didn't do it because it's like, okay, I got to do a nurse's job with an aid salary. I'm not doing that. So that's my son pulling up in his. Anyway, but I love it. It's going to be nice and slow pace. That's the only problem I'm a little nervous about because I've never had to really pass meds. So they got to train me to do that. And like I said, it's a requirement. Everybody on staff has to do meds. So I'm going to be on third, and they say that third shift is not a whole lot. So that's the only thing I'm a little nervous about because with passing meds, you have to be really careful. You make a mistake, you know. So I don't want to make mistakes. So, but I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm just a little nervous about it. It's the gig. It's part of the job. But I think I'm gonna like it. I mean, it's nice and slow pace. Um, it's not real strenuous. I'm not on my feet all day. I get a chance to sit down some. Um, it's all right. It's gonna be all right. So as I said, it stated before in my other video, it's just down the street. I'm actually within walking distance of my house. I literally can can walk to the job. So that's the nice part about it. It's close to home. Um, like on a rainy day, I probably can run the bus down there, you know. But yeah, I love it. I love it. I think I'm gonna like it. Usually when I'm training for a new job, I have some anxiety, for whatever reason. So far, the people that've been training me, they've been real patient with me. I have a lot of experience, so they haven't really had to tell me a whole lot of stuff, and a lot of it is just pretty, so far, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I was already kind of doing that type of work in home care. I was, like caring, as far as the care part of it, I was already doing that in home care. So, so I pretty much, as far as the care part of it, I pretty much have down pat. So it's just that the hard part is just, learning everybody's names and, learning the residents. I have to go through a process where I have to learn the residents and everything, and I'm not good with names, and I'm getting older on top of that. So, as you get older, it gets harder to remember names. So, but I think so far, I'm actually learning the people slowly but surely. So it's just those two things: is learning do the meds and learning everybody, learning my residents and everything. And I think some of them are already kind of taken to me a little bit. I love the elderly. I love working with the elderly. So I think they can kind of pick that up. It's like certain people they know. I think they kind of pick that up with me, and I have that temperament and everything. And so they kind of old people take really they take to me really well because of that, and I think they can kind of pick that up about me. So it's going to be nice. I do miss doing home care. I do miss my home care. It's just because I was able to just be independent and be on my own and just kind of do my own thing. I could take a job. I could take on a client. I can kind of call my own shots. I can say, okay, well, no, I don't want to take this one, and I kind of liked that aspect of doing home care. But because of the situation with my truck, I don't have my transportation no more. I kind of didn't have a choice because I was not in position to where I could pick up any hours. You know, um, they were taking me to a couple of my clients, but I was kind of stuck. At like 15 hours because I could not pick up any shifts. Because you can't really pick up no shifts if you ain't got no vehicle to get there. So you know, um, I need to get some coins and I need to get some quick, fast, in a hurry. So. Um, I had no other choice, and I had one client that they were only comfortable with me, with bathing. So I really was really kind of sad to leave that client, and I was told the agency to please make sure that that client gets somebody good. I was hoping that I could at least go in like one day a week um, to help this client, but I don't have a vehicle, so it's hard for me, and this client is way out, so I was really kind of sad to leave that client. But I'm gonna miss all my clients, but I was really kind of really sad to leave that one. But at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. At the end of the day, I got to do what I got to do to get my coins. I need my coins, and YouTube is not providing a steady source of income for me as of yet. So right now, I still got to punch that time clock and do what I got to do. I still got to get on the grind and punch that time clock. So I think this is going to work out. I'm getting a good feeling about it. I was a little shaky about it, a little nervous about it. I didn't have a good experience at the other assisted living that I worked at. Well, it started out as a okay experience, and then they changed management, and then it winded up being a nightmare. So I was a little apprehensive of after that situation. I was really um, disgusted. Actually, I was disgusted after that situation because after the way I was treated, I was like, okay, well, this is supposed to be a healthcare, and healthcare people are supposed to care about each other, and this is the way you treating people. So, I mean, actually, after I left there, I was kind of disgusted, and I was actually ready to change careers at that point, and that's when I went into childcare for a while. And so sometimes, when you're doing the specific job, sometimes you if you're mentally burned out, if you're having a really bad experience, actually the director was racist. Just gonna put it out there. She was racist, and then I was working with a coworker that was racist too, and she was lying on me. To make a long story short, so a situation like that, as you guys know, if you black out there, situation with that. You got to go ahead and bounce. I know sometimes when you black, now let me know in the comment section, but sometimes when you black, I mean, even when you white too, but especially when you black, you got to be multi-skilled. You have to be. It's good to be multi-skilled and know how to do a number of different things. Because when you, especially when you black, because you never know when you gonna have to bounce. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. You never know if a situation comes up to where you got a racist boss or you got racist coworkers, they're trying to sabotage you. I've had situations where people have tried to sabotage me. They have tried to get me fired, and you might have to go ahead and bounce and go on to the next thing. And so it's good to be multi-skilled to get as many skills as you possibly can get. not necessarily degrees, because we all know that you don't always get jobs with degrees. But yeah, education is important too. But skills is more important, because sometimes if you just have a degree, if you don't have the experience, they don't want to hire you if you don't have the experience. So getting as many skills and as many certifications and stuff that you can possibly get as a black person, if this job is, if they being racist and they trying to sabotage you and all that kind of stuff, and you ain't got time to sue them, you ain't got enough proof to take them to court, you know that you can bounce and go on to the next thing if you got them skills. You see, I got food service experience, child care experience, home care experience. I've done housekeeping. I've worked in the factory. I've done a little receptionist work. I've done a lot of stuff. I've done retail. I've done a lot of stuff. Okay, so I am literally, I am multi-skilled. So if this don't work out, then I can go back into childcare. That don't work out. You know what I'm saying? I can bounce from one thing to the next. You know. So that's why a sister stay paid. A sister, well, I don't know about staying paid, but a sister stays employed. Because if this thing don't work out, then I know I can go on to something else. Because at the end of the day, I'm multi-skilled. It's a number of things that I can do. So I mean, if things don't work out this way, I can go back into retail, whatever. It's a number of things that I can do, and so and I say, well, I've never been on anybody's job over 5 years, and sometimes I think, well, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. In a sense, I think yes and no. I think in a sense it's not a good thing, but I think in a sense it is a good thing because I've had the opportunity to uh, work a lot of various different types of jobs and get different types of skills. And so, as a black person, sometimes that's important to do. It's good to be multi-skilled because if this gig don't work out, then you know that you can bounce on to something else. You see that this opportunity is open at this other gig, and you got experience in that area, then you can jump up and do that. When things didn't work out at the daycare and physically I couldn't do it, I had to leave. Then home care was something that I could fall back on because I had done it before. They didn't have no problem with taking me on because they knew I was experienced. And see, that's the thing. You always got something to fall back on if you multi-skilled. I got tons of food service experience, but I just don't like doing food service. Um, so I mean, push come to shove, but that's on the bottom of my list because I don't like working in the kitchen at all. I just don't like kitchen work. So I mean, I could actually be a cook if I want to because I have a lot of cooking experience, and I have a food manager certification, so I can actually be a cook if I wanted to, but I just don't like working in the kitchen. I don't like kitchen work. Never liked it. I mean, but it's good that I have that experience. So it's just that even as of any race, it's good to be multi-skilled, but especially if you're black. If you are black, it is that's a good thing to be multi-skilled because that way if these white folks on this job want to go to clowning, then you can jump up and go do something else. I'm just putting it out there. You guys know I don't sugarcoat. It is what it is. But so with that being said, everything is going great so far. Crossing my fingers and praying at the same time. um, but last couple of days I've trained. I haven't been under a lot of stress and haven't had a lot of anxiety. And I take that as a good sign because typically when I'm training for a new job, I have a certain amount of anxiety. And when I'm having that level of anxiety and I'm stressed out, I don't think straight. I don't know about everybody else. My brain gets all scrambled and I don't think straight. And I might make more mistakes. But these people that I've been training with so far, they've been very patient with me, and like I said, I have experience. So as far as the care part of it, I really got that down packed already because I was doing that before. But the hard part's going to be the meds for me because I've never passed meds and learning everybody's name. And once I get those two things down packed, then I'm going to have a job in the bag. So, um, at the end of the day, I'm gonna do what I gotta do. It is what it is, and I'm gonna be on it. I'm gonna be on it, and I'm take pride in doing a good job and giving the employer their money's worth. I take pride in doing that, and it honors Jehovah. It honors Jehovah God. So so that's good. And it looks good on my work record. It makes me look good as an employee. It looks good on my work record, and it's always a good thing to maintain a good work record. So I just thank Jehovah God for blessing me with this job because I needed it. Like ASAP. It was like an emergency. So I just thank Jehovah God for opening up that door. Now, if I can only get my bills caught up, I'll really be, my stress level will really be low if I can get the bills caught up because I'm behind. So everything's going great so far. I'll keep you guys posted. I got some more interesting video topics coming up. This is Sweet Tea.